Welcome to Fearless and Focus, where we dive into the raw and real stories of entrepreneurship. I'm Nicole, and I'm here with my co-host, Helia.
Hi, everyone.
We're both entrepreneurs, and in each episode, we'll break down different aspects of the entrepreneurship journey. Teamwork, funding, growth, failure, and everything in between. Plus, we're bringing amazing women entrepreneurs to share their story. And this week, we have Kendal Howell. She is the founder of Collegiate Care, which is an on-campus beauty supply. And I am excited to get into her story. She is doing such great things. So let's get into it.
Okay. Hi, I'm Kendal Howell. I'm the founder and CEO of the Collegiate Care Experience. And the Collegiate Care is an on-campus beauty supply store. We started at University of Maryland, Baltimore County. We do online order and pickup, pop-up shops, in-person events, and we also officially partnered with our school food pantry, hopefully to continue closing the gap of hygiene products and college students across the nation. So yeah.
So exciting. Okay, so we're going to be talking about entrepreneurship and mental health. And how do you keep your sanity building an empire? And who I can relate. I'm sure we all can relate. Like it's a struggle.
Oh yeah.
So before we get into the questions, just give us a brief recap of like how you started and how did you get to where you are now?
Okay. So it's funny because it like as well as the more that you like keep growing in business, like the farther you have to retract back. Oh, it's crazy. So 2022, I got the idea in my freshman year of college, because I had like a crazy skin outbreak and nothing that like I could find really on campus was like able to help me like fix my skin. And it was just really bad. Like it was dry, flaky, my self-confidence just like in the gutter. I didn't want to take pictures at one point. It was really bad. And then I also found myself driving off campus. Thank God I had a car to get hair products, but it was still such a like struggle to just get shampoo that worked for my hair. Um, and so like one day I was just like, why don't we have anything on campus? And I was like, aha moment.
Mm-hmm.
And so yeah, I wrote that idea down. I called my mom. I was like, Mommy, let me think about this. And she's such a strategist. So she was like, how would you do this and this? And she was asking me all these deep questions. I was like, oh, yeah, maybe it could work. I don't know. But I ended up bringing the idea to my now mentor, Mr. Kevin Fulmer. And I pitched at the CBIC at my school. And so we got second place and used the funding we got from that. That was in spring 2023 to we used that for our startup costs. And so that purchased our first inventory. And so in fall 2023, we started off with online order and pickup, and then we had our first ever pop-up shop, and that went amazing. Like there's people waiting in line that day, and I was like, why you know? Like, why are you here? It's just so it's been up the hill since there. Up here? No, it's been like a mountainous since there.
Absolutely. And it flows. It goes up and down.
Exactly. But it's been I've been more grateful for this process. It's grown me as a young woman, entrepreneur, student, future professional. So I'm just grateful.
Kendall, what do you study at UMBC?
Oh, at school, I am an Africana studies, a sociology double major, and then I have a minor in entrepreneurship. Yeah.
Amazing. So you started before starting your minor or after that? I want to know, like, because you had the idea, but how did you get the business together? How did you like learn what you need to do?
Well, okay. I I actually don't remember what semester I took like my first entrepreneurship class. Oh, yes. The spring semester I met Mr. Fulmer. That was the first entrepreneurship class I took, and he was telling us about the competition and things. So I had prior experience with entrepreneurship because I was a hairstylist. Oh, I still am a hairstylist, but I started braiding when I was like 7, just on my dolls, and then I like officially launched like my hair business, the Rose Gallery. And when I was 16 years old, like during quarantine. And of course, like I wasn't building clientele during quarantine. So I would probably just get my best friends just doing their hair. And then when the mass stuff started happening, we were able to see each other. That's when that started to grow. And so that's why I learned basic concepts about like uh profit versus like demand and things like that, or like what do you call it? Oh, geez, I don't know. I don't actually know a lot of the terms. I just like the concept.
Yeah.
Started to come. I was like, okay, how much?
Yeah, but you can really like explain what it is.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So I understood how much I had to charge to make money. This cost as much, like cost and like profit, stuff like that. So cost of goods sold, stuff like that. And so I've been learning on the job mostly with this business as well. Retail is completely different. So yeah.
Yeah, I get that. Like, I feel like that's mainly most of entrepreneurship. I feel like, in the master's entrepreneurship program, I feel like what's always repeated to us over and over and over is just start. That's all
Yeah.
my problem. Kevin always has to push me to just start because I'll
Yeah.
stop and I'll overanalyze and I'll just get stuck in analysis. And he's just like, just do the first step, keep analyzing, but just start. Just go do something. And you
Mhm.
have to tell me that so many times. And I'm like, yeah, that's my love right there. Just start.
I wanted to say that yeah, I totally agree. And to me, it might be a little stressful to just start because I'm programmed to make sure that everything is perfect before launching something or starting something. So this is personally a challenge for me to just put myself out there and be like tell myself that it's okay if things are not perfect. It will get perfect because to be honest, that perfect moment never comes. And if you're waiting for that, like you're waiting for your whole life and you miss a lot of chances.
Exactly. Exactly. Being a business owner, I start looking at mistakes differently. Of course, like they have like the consequences, but like it's on top of like starting, of course, you want to have some type of mentorship. You don't want to like go out and try and like do everything by yourself because there's just mistakes that are avoidable, but like your mistakes are also inevitable. Especially if you're starting something completely new. Like sometimes people can't tell you what not to do because you have to learn because you're starting something no one's ever done or just doing it a different way. So it's like, you're carving your own path and eventually like you're just gonna hit something.
So that kind of leads me to one of our first questions is when you're just doing, right? You're just out there, you're trying stuff, failing at some things, and then sometimes you realize later on it's not even a failure, it actually was a lesson that helped you. So going on this entrepreneurship journey, how do you find yourself managing your stress to avoid burnout?
Oh, that's a good question. Hmm. I
You.
I I really like I'm Christian and I built like my business off of Christian values. And so a lot of like my business and I really go hand in hand. I feel like entrepreneurs is part of me. And so I really have to rely on the Lord and also know that like I think what's helped me is knowing that he has given me this business to steward and like he also like is in it. So he's helping me. He's giving me strategies and things like that, especially when I feel weary. Like I have to trust Lord every day, just surrender it to him and just have him give me the strength and the strategies to know how to move forward. And also like having an amazing team. Like, of course, team building is not easy, but like he has sent people to help me. But I'm a type of person who doesn't love asking for help. So at one point, I just had my team. Like, I was so scared to like actually give them responsibilities because I didn't want to burden them. But they were literally here to like they want to help. And so we had this big meeting and one day and I was just like, "We have to restructure, guys. I'm gonna lose my mind. I can't do it." And they're like, "We're here to help you." Like, I don't understand what you are you stressing about. But reshifting responsibilities, like I had to get over that fear, being open and honest about our capacities. I think that transparency is really big because in business, it's not just my mental health now that I have to be concerned about, it's theirs as well because we all work together to make this thing work. And so, yeah, I think strong communication about capacity, where we're falling short so we can help one another, like pick up each other's slack in a way. Um, but yeah, I think the Lord is really our strength in all of this. But burnout is, I don't even know we can always avoid it sometimes. Like sometimes it's just inevitable. Especially when you're like, if you're like a big team, you're small, you gotta grind. You gotta grind. So
Yeah, I definitely get that.
So you mentioned two things. You said you have some mentors, including spiritual mentors and business ones that can help you overcome the stress, and also you depend on your team sometimes. Um, tell us about your team more. Like, how did you meet these people? Who are they? Like, how did you give out responsibilities? Like, we want to know about that.
okay. So, oh my God, I love my team. Like, I hope they watch this because they need to know like how much I actually love them. So it started small, because for almost like a year, I was pretty much by myself, like doing the pop-up shops, being everywhere by myself. I knew that could not be the case for the next year, especially as a student. It just is so hard. So I over last summer actually during the launch pad, I met my first team member, Josephine. And we used like some of the fund money to fund her like internships because she helped me do the interviews we were tasked to do in our accelerator program. She killed it. We got so much like information through the interviews. And so she stuck with me all the way to the start of the semester in 2024. And then I met Destiny. Well, I knew Destiny, but I might have heard to be a part of the team officially for the like this fall semester. And she hopped on. And then what we were already planning to do, it was just me, Destiny, and Josephine. We're like, okay, we're gonna launch this ambassador program. And so we're gonna get students to like peer educate about wellness and care and how to use the products we actually sell and things like that. And so instantly, like through that program, our team grew to like 7 because we onboarded 5 ambassadors. And so they also helped out with pop-up shops, but they also were able to market using their social media platforms. And so like those 2 girls were my friends as well as, well, Josephine I met, but Destiny was one of my friends. And then my friends and new people also applied. So I've met some people through that. Tanae, I want to shout them out. Kanae, Nina, Tommy, Rachel, um, Sean, they all came on. And then some of them stayed as vets for the following semester, and some of them became like Kanae and Sean became a part of our official team, and Kayla also became a part of our official team, like our executive staff. And so then we onboarded 4 more ambassadors for this semester that right now. So now we have 7 ambassadors and 5 people in our executive team. And we all pitch in for pop-up shops, helping with like our Retriever Essentials partnership and also promoting using social media. And they're all wonderful, wonderful, wonderful people, like wonderful. And I love them so much.
I can definitely relate to that. People come in your life and just want to help you, and I'm like, what do you mean you want to help? Like, do you really want to help me? Like, okay. Me and Toya talk about that all the time. It's just like, you want to help me with that? So that what something you said about like knowing the people on your team made me think of go to one of my next questions. And it actually relates to our third episode that we just put out between when me and Helia told our story about how we met, how we became friends, and now how we're like together. So how do you set boundaries between work and personal life since you have that personal connection with people on your team?
Yeah. That's really like that's been a big struggle, like, as because we have, like, friends on my team as well, and then you become close, so it's like it's a tango, like, it's really tough. For me, at least when I was on campus, because now the time difference, like I can't necessarily not answer the phone because it's maybe 2 a.m. here, but 8 p.m. there. So back home, I would not, I think I set the boundary at 9:30. No more answering PM, no more answering any text or emails related to work. And then until 8 a.m. the next morning. And that helped me so much. Just mentally just putting it down. I think I started doing something like that with my schoolwork. It's kind of harder because things are due late at night. Um, but that was like one of the boundaries I started setting for myself. And that like was a game changer for me. Like those small limits, knowing, okay, at 9:30, I'm gonna take a shower, I'm gonna watch a movie. I'm not gonna be up on my email until 12. Just trying to figure things out. Like, no, like you deserve a break. You work hard. If you're working hard the entire day, you don't have to work hard the entire night. Like it'll be there tomorrow. I promise no one's gonna work for you overnight. I promise. It's not nobody's gonna work for you.
There's always gonna be something that needs to be done. You have to cut off. You have to just like because if you keep working, your brain is not functioning properly. Like you have to just rest and just say, look, that's the end for the day.
I literally started saying like I'm closing the laptop out loud and it closes and it does not open unless I'm looking at notes. But I have to literally say it because I will keep this laptop open, like making another to-do list, do it. Like it can drive you mad. So yeah.
I can relate to that a lot because I also have a business in another country that we have like 8 hours time difference. And at the beginning for me to how to balance it was very tough and stressful because every morning I woke up with a lot of messages on my phone and I felt so stressed like I could feel like my heartbeat is just raising and um I couldn't know like I couldn't touch my phone, I couldn't answer any phone. I felt like I'm paralyzed. It was stressful. But after a while I could like balance it and I was like, okay, so when you wake up, take your time and then like go through your emails first and then go through these messages, like prioritize and balance it.
Absolutely.
So it's tough, like especially when you're a solo entrepreneur
And here,
in another time difference as you are, it's I can say that it's very tough. So yeah, I wanna know like have you ever had those stressful moments or like have you ever had a panic attack that like no I cannot do this anymore. I'm done. Like it doesn't work.
yeah. Just short answer, yeah. um, I think like last summer was really testing for me. Like I went through like it it'd be like I'd be a different person every week. Like I feel like because we were in this like in between like of scaling but also but or scaling or not basically because we were sending proposals for spaces and places and it just was like and then also okay we were trying to find like wholesalers and things and it just I was running to so many walls and it actually took me almost like a year to find a wholesaler just researching and researching because this like beauty supply industry is very gate kept. That's another conversation for another day. But but I was literally um, like, God, if you don't want me to do this anymore, like, just like tell me, because I just running into so many walls. Like, what is the point of even trying anymore? Until like this one day, the one day you find it and it works, it's like it was all worth it, you know. But that it is just like sometimes like in business, you'll have such highs and then like when the lows come, it's like they pile on one another. Like it'll just be a lot of things that just start going wrong. I don't want you to just like is it gonna crumble? Is this my day? This is my time. Okay, thank you. I'll
This is New Orleans.
yes. So it's just it is crazy how I can switch, but it tests your mental toughness. It's tested my mental toughness. Even here, like not being able to be there physically has been like, how do I not micromanage, but like allow people to be responsible and take charge and things like that. So it's just a whole bunch of stuff. Yeah, that stress me out every day.
Since we're talking about things that stress you out, let's talk about what do you think that biggest thing, like what's that biggest mental health challenge that you faced as a business owner so far that just sticks out in your mind?
hmm I think like a personal challenge that I have like aside from business, I have ADHD.
Mhm.
And so that like shows up everywhere in my life. Um, and so in business, like no, okay, so and with work in general, like I struggle with like procrastination. And sometimes when you have no one necessarily like holding you accountable, it's so much easier to put things off. And, like if you were the business owner. And so say I'm going through it, something doesn't go through, and I start procrastinating because I'm just like I don't want to deal with the thing head on. It's like a lot for my brain to comprehend dealing with something. Um, and then, for example, things start piling up, and then I fall into like some depressive habits where I just am like moping and just don't. It just gets really really bad. That's something I really struggle with. But like I think because it's not only me that's at stake, I have to communicate what I'm going through with my team. And that's also been hard, like expressing like, yo, I don't got it. I don't got it right now. This is what's gonna change because I feel like my capacity is not allowing me to do this thing right now. Maybe um we look at it differently or we change the thing that we said we were gonna do or we just push it back. For example, like posting master videos been really hard for me. It's such an easy thing to do, but it's like there's so many things I have to do before that. Um, and it just feels like so much, and that's something that I've put off a lot. But I'm like, okay, why don't we're gonna push it back, let things roll into the summer. Um, and yeah, it's those that's just my biggest like downfall. And I'm trying my best to be better at it by being open and then having some of my team members hold me accountable. So yeah.
So you feel like to help negate was just who you are and how your brain works, you have to like have your team, you let your team hold you accountable and then also recognize when like your mental health or your mood or instability is really taking the best of you. And I definitely I can relate to that. I think me and her, you'll talk about this all the time where like I remember one time she's just like, I can't do this. Like today, I just cannot do this. I have too much. It's just too much. And I'm like, I get it.
Mhm.
Like I get it. Trust look, I'm half medicated. If I did not take my medicine, you will see a whole other person in me. Okay, so like I get that, and I feel like that's the biggest thing that I love about having a team is that
Yeah.
it holds me accountable. I have to say something, like, even if I don't get it done, like, I don't always meet my deadlines. I don't always meet the goal, but it's like,
Mhm.
I have to practice saying that, like, "Yeah, I didn't get
Yeah.
it done." And it's like,
Yeah.
then you have to deal with the consequences of that because when you're doing it by yourself, it's just like, "Who's gonna say something to me?" I'm
Right, exactly.
And that was one of the reasons we started this whole podcast. We wanted to like let other entrepreneurs know that we all feel the same. We all go
Yeah.
through these challenges. We all have burnout.
Yeah,
And it's not just them. And they're not lonely here.
exactly, y'all. It gets real bad. It gets real bad. Yeah, I think the presence like, I think entrepreneurs are stronger, even though it's hard to team build. I think entrepreneurs are stronger with the team because of that accountability piece. Like, like you're gonna have a team meeting and you said you're gonna do this, so you need to have something produced or just talk about it. Like it just it it's made me like it's actually made me realize like sometimes I don't keep my word and I'm like, oh, that's a problem not only in my business, but that's a problem in life. Like I just I'll do it and it doesn't get done. It's like, no, no, no. So you'll do it. You need to do it. And that's just what it has to be. I still struggle with it to this day. I struggle with that. So I'm gonna get better. And it pushes me to do better because at the end of the day, we have to leave an example for our team. We want to set the standard of excellence. It has to start with like leadership being an excellence. So we're learning day by day.
Yeah.
Um, so I want to know how many campuses do you work with right now? And also, now that you're in France, have you considered starting to work with another university there?
So I the first one for like the US, right now we are partnered with UMBC, like University of Maryland, Baltimore County, with the Retriever Central's food pantry. And so that's the one campus we're working on right now. We do have two other campuses I won't be able to name that we're working on expanding to. It's just things are still under the works. I don't want to like jump the gun
Yeah.
with things. Um, but like somebody up high in our university was able to communicate what we're doing here with someone else at another university, and it's just been like spreading the word to people who make decisions. And I'm like, that is like the Lord. I can do that because I'm just a little student. I'm a student. And so she's been really helpful with moving things along. So in the US is where we're focused. Now here, I think the access is very different. Like everything's very walkable here. Like we can necessarily walk places complete like in a way, and then the public transportation is also really good. So they might have different problems than we do in the US. Um, observed other issues that I was like, hmm. But you know, when you're an entrepreneur, you just look at everything. You're like, I have a solution for that. I have a solution for that.
It's like you find problems to solve for people.
Exactly. So, it had more to do with like the hair and beauty industry. Um, and I I just wrote it down. I don't know if it's like something possible. I have to do more research, but yeah, I think they have a really good system for getting people the products they need.
What problems do you see there that you feel like will kind of like translate with the same kind of like the same thing or parallel what you're doing here?
Uh, um, I would say it's a little bit difficult to, at least in the area I'm in. Angers is like a small city in the middle of nowhere, and it has a lot. And they just literally recently, like I think it was maybe a year ago, they built a tram system that goes all the way like around the city. And so you can get anywhere like through the tram system, and it doesn't take long, and it's only like $1. Um, I think my only thing, because now that we partner with Retriever Essentials at UMBC, students actually get the products they need for free. Like it's a food pantry, so they go and they just get what they need. Um, and their basic products like Tide Pods, shampoo, conditioner, lotion, Vaseline, body soap, things like that, pads. Now those things, like I do see like they have free pads down there at the front desk, but like I don't think they have necessarily a food pantry type of thing or like something like that also for hygiene products. That's something I believe like could be heavily implemented, especially because I live in like a building called the Cruise, and that's necessarily for students or new adults who don't necessarily make that much money. And so it's nice, but I think for people living in Cruz, they could have something like that that really doesn't cost much for us. Um, but yeah, I think the access issue might not be the physical access. It might be a financial constraint thing that we might have to look into.
Yeah,
Mhm.
I love that. And I like you to touched on the like any of like the feminine hygiene products. That's been like a really big push here specifically.
Yeah.
Um, where business businesses should carry feminine hygiene products just like they offer paper towels and toilet paper
Right.
when you go to the bathroom. But
Absolutely.
when you live, when you live in a patriarchal system, and as majority, sometimes they don't think that it's a problem. So I definitely understand. I get that, and I'm glad that it's in your space and you're taking that on
Yeah.
in whatever capacity that you can, because it's it reaches every type of woman. And especially when you're talking about like the income based, and sometimes it's about affordability to be able to get
Mhm.
things rather than like I could walk across the street and get it. but who's paying for it?
Exactly.
Yeah, when you brought up, like, you connected, like, the food pantry and, like, having that free access, like, yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. So, just a little bit of a follow-up with that.
Mhm.
How do you fund that?
Mhm.
Fund that and still have a sustainable and profitable business?
So the school like actually purchases from us. We're like their wholesalers would if you like if you call us a wholesaler, I think that it would be fitting for that partnership. So we have B2C and then we have the B2B. And so um they're on like a monthly contract. So they get an order once a month, a shipment, a lot of products in bulk. Like we'll get like 100 toilet papers, 100 soaps, however many toothpastes, toothbrushes, things they need. And they have like a minimum order, like you would typically do in a wholesale order, so like minimum 30 toothbrushes to meet their minimum quantity, like dollar amount, which is like 750 per order. And then they go over that because they need more things than what 750 can buy for their students. And they like come in. Oh, we come in and we stock our area that we have. I can send you a picture of it because it's hard. We have a physical like space in their food pantry. We stock our drawers and things, and they come and they take everything so fast. We get paid through that, but the students don't have to see that cost, which is so good.
And the fact that they take it so fast shows that they need it.
Yeah.
And there is a lag in the system that you figured out. And I hope that it grows throughout the country at least.
Yeah, I prayed this too. I prayed that, and then the thing is with current climates, it's it like sometimes funding can be like a little unpredictable, for like initiatives like this. But it's like a necessity because we also like give them diapers and things and baby wipes for mothers who may not like have like diapers are expensive and stuff like that. So that would really break my heart if we're not able to continue that due to climates. I mean, I'm trying to stay reserved here. Um, because it goes beyond just like students who just need soap or want things for free. Like there's real like financial gaps that we've noticed at UMBC. So yeah.
UMBC is such a good school. I feel like they
Yeah.
really care about their students.
Yeah.
And, speaking of the current climate, I feel like they're doing their best to create a sense of security
Yeah.
in amongst what's happening and the panic that can be caused by just watching the news. So,
Mhm.
like, I really love that they are like pouring into you and like helping you help others, which is like,
Yeah.
so I want that to be like a standard across campuses and
Yeah.
is really trying to help their students the best way they can. Like,
Yeah.
I remember being a freshman when I went to Bowie State, and I only really survived because I ran track and I had a teammate who's still my best friend. She actually works on our team. She's our admin person.
Oh my God, I love that.
Yeah, we ran track together, and her
That's
mom,
so good.
sweetest lady ever. And
Mhm.
she noticed that, like, hmm, this girl's not, she doesn't have everything that she needs. And instead of like asking me and like, making me feel uncomfortable about it, because we're all young, you're like 18, you're literally a child. So
Yeah. Literally.
just like when she sent her something, she sent me stuff too.
Mhm.
She would just like,
Mhm.
"It's for you and Nicole." And then when she would pick her up from campus and take her home, she would be like, "Okay, come on." And she would just do, and I was just like not used to that. So I use Lab Story to say like, UMBC is like Shamika's mom, and you're like helping everybody get things, because there are a lot of little Nicoles out there who don't know how to ask for help and may be feel ashamed to ask for help. And the fact that
No.
resources there unapologetically in their school
Yeah.
and fostering that community to be able to get help is such, it's a bigger blessing than you probably even understand.
Wow. No, that's a beautiful story, Nicole. I love that. Okay, period. UMBC is Shamika's mother. Okay, I love.
Oh, well, she's gonna love that. I'm gonna send her this clip. She's gonna love.
Please. And I hope that it continues to go, outlives me because I don't want it to stop with just our generation. This is a problem that's been having for as long as not UMBC, but as long as they've been there, it's been an issue. And so, um, yeah, I hope it continues.
And I feel like there's so many entrepreneurs in UMBC that we didn't even know. Like everyone I talk to, they're like mostly they're from UMBC and they're like knowing these four other people who started a startup or something or thinking about it. And that's amazing.
Yeah. There's so much talent at UMBC. Like, even students that don't go into entrepreneurship, like sometimes it's just like throw out an idea and I'd be like, you need to find your way to an entrepreneurship classroom right now. Like, there's so many like students, even like for example, to CBIC, like I just go and I'm listening. I'm like, yo, 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 like y'all. I did do not sleep on this school. Like that's one thing I need to announce to the podcast. Do not sleep on UMBC. Like if you're entrepreneurship, the Alex Brown Center is a great place to find like to get poured into. They don't look at ideas like, oh, that's not gonna blow up. They're like, okay, so what do you want to do about it? Oh, so yeah, we're gonna support you through that. I love them.
So, to wrap everything up, Kendall, what advice would you give other entrepreneurs that may be struggling with their mental health?
Ooh, hold on. This is just from my experience. Like the Lord is our strength. Like I sometimes like there's supernatural patience we need, supernatural strength we need to just hop on the call or send the email. Like the Lord has been my strength, and I trust the same God I serve will be your peace and your guidance through all of this entrepreneur business path that you're on. And yeah, for even entrepreneurs, I feel like I don't know, I feel like to say that any entrepreneurs that are struggling with confidence, struggling with like feeling like your idea is valid enough, like your idea is valid enough, like you are enough to like stand up and pitch. You are enough. Your idea is enough to get you the grant that you need to scale. Like you are enough. And I trust that the Lord is going to continue to bless your business, bless your businesses if you're listening to this. And yeah.
Thank you so much for thank you so much. I really enjoy learning more about your business, and I really love the fact like it's just so much. You're doing so much. You're doing such a good job. You're doing such good work, important work. So I definitely want to keep encouraging you to keep going and take your own advice that you just gave to other entrepreneurs. Like continue to lean into your spirituality, continue to lean into that. So that helps you so much. Like I really want to keep encouraging. And you're so young. I know we talked about this at the demo day. Like you're so young, so much time ahead of you, and you're doing so many good things at such a young age. Like I don't want you to feel like you're behind at all. You're doing great.
Thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you. No, advice was needed, girl. Like I don't know. Thank you. I appreciate it.
It's really nice to having you here. And I cannot wait to launch this episode as fast as we can. Because I think Shamika's mother is gonna be happy.
Yeah, shout
She
out to Miss Ellen. Is she a real one? I love her.
Oh my gosh, name the episode Shamika's mother is UMB's. I love that. I love that. Thank you guys for having me. This is wonderful. Like I love podcasts. Like I'm such a like I just love a little podcast here and there. But I'm so proud of you guys for starting. Like Mr. Fumer said, just start. I'm excited to see where this goes for you guys. This is really amazing.
Thank you. Well, enjoy France. soak it all up, and we'll be here when you get back. So enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. You too, y'all.
All right. Bye. So, what was your biggest takeaway? What did you learn today?
Um, I think what she mentioned a couple of times is the importance of having a support system.
Mhm.
Um, that's what I call it can be anything from spiritual mentors to business mentors to your team members, your best friend, anyone who can support you when you're going through a breakdown, when you are stressed out, when you are like happy even to share something, or when you are stuck at somewhere and you don't know how to move forward. um I think it's very important, and she talked about her faith a lot,
Mhm.
and that's also I think like every entrepreneur has to have faith about something. I'm not just talking about in religious terms, but just having the faith that you can make an impact in the world and you're doing something good and you're affecting and influencing other people's lives. That's very important. And I think like every person needs to think about it. Like, what am I faithful for? And also who's my support system?
Yeah. And that leads me to what I was thinking about, the support system, right? And we talk about how her support system we could definitely relate to because we have a personal relationship. We're friends and we work together. And what's very important to me that I took away from her that I can relate to is setting boundaries. And I setting boundaries looks so different for me now. I feel like before it was like I had to have these hard, rigid boundaries. And now it's just more about it's really I'm learning that boundaries are for me. And when you try to put things on other people, there are rules. So there's rules and there's boundaries. And now I'm learning like I really need to put the boundaries on me so I can be the most effective person. So when she brought that up, I'm just like, yeah, I can
Mhm.
definitely relate to setting those boundaries, the closing her laptop at 9:30, like not answering any more emails and going and not answering anymore until 8 a.m. the next day. Like that is a good boundary, a good practice to put in right now. So early in her entrepreneurship journey, that was very impressive for me because it took me years to get to that point to just say, no, no, I'm not doing that. Like I'll reach out to you tomorrow. We'll get it done tomorrow. So like, yeah.
It connects to the other point she made about going with your own pace, and do not force yourself to hurry or delay things. I think that's very important because you need to do what works for you. If people tell you that you need to launch your MVP in 3 weeks and you're not ready for it, not I'm not like not mentally or even not professionally ready for it, just don't do it. Take your time, go with your own pace. Um, if something works for others, doesn't necessarily mean that it will work for you.
Exactly. Because there's blueprints, right? But your specific paths with your specific background and the exact time that you're doing it and where you're gonna go, like all those things, all those factors matter what's gonna make your journey different than a blueprint. There's always gonna be general guidance. But what you're doing and how you're doing it is gonna be different. So how you have to operate, how you have to maneuver, how you have to step, it's gonna be different. And I think that's what creates the loneliness because then you feel like nobody else can relate to you because you always feel like you're doing things differently and nobody can understand what you're going through. But when you step outside of that and you come into spaces like this and other networking spaces or other just like community based spaces around entrepreneurship, you realize like it doesn't really matter that I'm doing something different and their business is something completely different in mine. It's like we're all going through whatever journey we're going through and we just want somebody to understand that it's the journey. The journey in itself is hard. The journey in itself is difficult.
And the last thing that I want to mention is that she brought up a very good point, saying that you don't always necessarily need to know everything. If, as a leader, as an entrepreneur, if your team members are asking you a question, and you don't know the answer, just tell them that I don't know, but I will do my best to find the answer. I will use all the resources that I have to figure out what's next and what should we do about it. And that's very important because nobody likes a know-it-all, but everyone loves an accountable, reliable person that they are sure they can trust. We started Fearless and Focused because entrepreneurship is lonely, overwhelming, and unpredictable, but it doesn't have to be. We want to have real, honest conversations with entrepreneurs, not just about what works, but also about what doesn't work. And each episode, we will focus on a key concept like teamwork, funding, mindset, resilience, and break it down in a way that is actually useful for you guys. Thanks for listening, and see you next time on Fearless and Focused. Bye.